Have you ever heard of the silent killer? My name is Maria Marin, and today I will be talking about what is known as a silent killer. So, the silent killer is when you have high blood pressure for prolonged periods of time without even knowing it. High blood pressure exhibits no symptoms, and that is why, according to the American Heart Association, nearly half of all Americans have high blood pressure and aren't even aware of it until it progresses to something worse, like a heart attack or a stroke. According to the CDC, more than 795 Americans have a stroke in the US each year. So my goal is to inform you all the importance of monitoring your blood pressure from home and to ensure that you have an understanding of how to get a proper and accurate reading. Some of the benefits of monitoring your blood pressure from home is that 1, you have a sense of control over your health. 2, you ensure that you get a proper and accurate reading for yourself. And 3 is that you may be able to determine an underlying disease or a medical condition early on. So let's begin with everything that you will need. First, you will need a stethoscope along with your blood pressure cuff and your sphygmomanometer. So one thing that is very important in this process is to make sure that the blood pressure cuff that you have is the one that is a right fit for you. Having a wrong fitting cuff can cause an inaccurate reading, and this is a large size in adult, size 12, but as you can see here, there's many different sizes from children to a large adult. Another thing that can cause an inaccurate reading in your blood pressure is, for example, me when I go to a doctor's office, I don't know if it's the nerves, but my blood pressure just keeps rising, and then they'll take it again and it's just rising more. But ever since I've been monitoring my blood pressure, I know that that is not my normal blood pressure. So once I am home and relaxed, I take my blood pressure and it is within normal limits. So that is called white coat syndrome. If your blood pressure just rises when you are at the doctor's office, but it is within normal limits for you at your home, then it is just white coat syndrome. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is place your blood pressure cuff around your arm, and it has an artery mark here, so you will place above this artery on your arm. So once you have the blood pressure cuff in place, you will then put on your stethoscope and place the bell right under that artery on your arm. So you will be listening in as you inflate this cuff on the arm. So once you are pumping this to inflate the valve, you should pump it up to about when the meter reads anywhere from 160 to 180. So once the meter reaches 160 to 180, you start releasing the valve slowly. You're going to be listening in, and it's going to sound like a heartbeat. When you start hearing the heartbeat, you check and see what number the meter is on. So for me, if it was at 120, that's when I started hearing the heartbeat, I would write down 120. I keep listening as I'm still releasing the valve here. And once that beating stops, I look again and see what the meter is pointing to when the beating stopped. That is going to be my second number, which is going to be, let's say, 80 in this case. So that should leave you with 2 numbers. For me, like I said, it was 120 over 80. So once you have that reading, 120 over 80, like I said, is within normal limits. But if it is high for you, let's say 130 over 90, you should wait a couple minutes and try again in the other arm. If your reading is still high, then you should reach out to your healthcare provider and let him know of the trending numbers that you're getting. So now that you know how to get a proper blood pressure reading, let's go over what we talked about. Once you learn how to get an accurate reading of your blood pressure, I believe that it is a good idea to check it out on yourself at least once a month, I would say. And if it is elevated, maybe once a week. And like I said, let your healthcare provider know about the readings that you are getting. It can save your life, or it can help make an early and proper diagnosis. It ensures that you get a proper and accurate reading for your normal limits, and it is not white coat syndrome. And lastly, it can give you a sense of control over your health.